Hey guys, today we're talking about ARIA accessible rich internet application. ARIA is a complement to HTML. That means that ARIA is providing information which HTML do not contain and so improves the accessibility. Let's see some basic rules for ARIA. When you have the choice between native HTML and ARIA, you should always prefer HTML when this is possible. Before you use ARIA for your HTML or your web projects, you should have fully understand what you are doing, especially with advanced ARIA functions. They can cause some problems which you cannot foresee when you didn't fully understand how ARIA is working. One example is ARIA application, which is often used, but often used wrong, and which can cause many problems for screen reader users. The usage of ARIA does not make a website automatically accessible. ARIA does not add any functionality to your website. ARIA is only for semantic information for assistive technology, but it does not make your website, for example, keyboard accessible. You have to develop the keyboard accessibility for yourself, and ARIA is only help for that. Which tasks do ARIA have? ARIA adds additional semantic to the HTML code. For example, you can define which areas of your website are navigation, content, and so on, that are the so-called landmarks. There are also widget roles which can add more semantic information to particular elements. Then you can override the role of an HTML element. Let's say you have a div container for the navigation, or you have used a link for a function of your website. Then you can add the role button, and the screen reader will act or will think that the element has a button. It does not mean that the element behaves like a button. That is another thing, as I already said, but the screen reader can think or communicate the information to the user that this is a button. The important thing about ARIA is a name role value. The name is a designation of an element. Role is a task of an element, for example, headline. And the value is the state of an element, for example, checked or unchecked, or a button, or a radio button, or a checkbox, and something like that. Native HTML elements, as we already said, are preferred because they already have this information or communicate this information. If you use, for example, a programmed element for checkboxes, you have to add all the information for assistive technologies. You have to add keyboard accessibility and so on. And this is a role of ARIA. Another thing which you can do with ARIA is to mark mandatory fields, um, machine readable. For example, you put there a star or something like that, but you can also communicate in the code that this enter field is mandatory for the users. Another thing is properties. For example, that elements are mother elements or child elements of an element. So this is interesting, for example, in tree structures. And the last thing area you need area for are dynamic elements. You can, for example, use area for communicating live regions, the so-called live region. When you have an area in a website where there are dynamic changes, for example, is new content added, you can communicate this via area to the assistive technology. That's important because assistive technology usually don't see dynamic changes on websites because the screen reader, for example, is buffering the content. And so it doesn't automatically recognize that that there are things which have changed in the development. So that was it for the time. I hope you enjoyed the episode and would be glad if you subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.